Who that family? Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and who that too.
Post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report. Chiming in on another installment, not a happy Pelican post-game report, as the Bulls get ran over. I mean, actually, the Pelicans. See, I fooled you right quick. The Bulls run over the Pelicans, 129-116, snapping the Pelicans' 4-game winning streak, man. And I wish it was a joke, and Matt, I had some better news to break down with the family members on this episode of the Pelican Postgame Report. Very sluggish affair for the Pelicans. The third quarter decimation continues, and they just ran out of gas in the second half pretty much and could not get back into this thing later on. Couldn't perform enough stops in the second half. The demise started you seen it. They were competitive in the first half, but the demise started after the second half whistle. Like, I don't know if he had them running around the building before he got into the start of the second half, but they ran out of juice severely. I'm Big Q Chapman in this one. I'd like to bring in my co-host, DC. How you doing tonight, bro?
Oh, man, I'm feeling a little down and perplexed, man. I feel like I let the team down. It was a major communication issue on my part. I told them all they had to do was hold Zach LaVine under 24 points, and we could win this game. But I assumed, and I shouldn't have assumed. I assumed that they knew when I said we need to hold them under 24 points that I meant for the whole game, because they actually held them under 24 points for the first quarter. So I think they just thought I meant for the first quarter and not for the whole game. I should have clarified that, bro. And it's eating me up, Q.
Well, it's not only you, bro. It's the entire the entire Pelican postgame report family, man. The whole flock is flocked up in this situation because, I mean, you look at what kind of performance this was in the second half, man, especially in the third. That third quarter was horrible, man, to say the least. Absolutely terrible quarter in the matchup for the Pelicans.
It's the worst quarter of the season, Q.
Yeah, that was pathetic, man.
Like the whole season.
Yeah, that was terrible, man. 40-14 in the third quarter.
We did have the best, I think, first half that we had all season too, which is to me is just, that's the fucking Pelicans, man. That's the flocking Pelicans. I'm sorry, but they had like 74 or 76 points in the first half.
Yeah.
And then you score 14 points in the third quarter, bro. I mean, it don't get more Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde than that, bro.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, man. It was a very tough watching this one here, man. And a part of being a good team is we got to learn how to finish these games, man. We got to learn how to win back-to-back matchups. That's a very key personality trait in the team when they have the toughness, even though they know they're tired, they gut it through and get a difficult win on the road to a team. And we don't perform we're not performing very well in these back-to-back contests. And of course, the Pelicans are a young team. We have to get better at that attribute, man. But anyway, moving forward, before we get into the rest of the breakdown of the show, we're gonna tune in old man Stan and see what he got to say. Of course, might be using verbiage like Bill Effenwall, like DC just did, or something like that. But we'll see exactly what Stan Van Gundy has to say about this, man, because this was tough to watch here, DC. I'm gonna just keep it real, very tough to watch. Let's see what Stan Van had to say about it in this version of the show. Here's Stan, man.
They miss a three. It's a 50-50 ball. They get the rebound, and Satoransky made the three. You were visibly frustrated at that point in the game. That really was the final straw. But how frustrating was that play?
Well, it was just, look, I know we were exhausted at that point because we really stretched some guys out on the second night of a back-to-back. So I could have done a better job with our rotations, but we were running out. It's not like the ball bounced strong and we didn't get to it. We had guys not even coming back on the ball. It was frustrating. But look, when you're down that much, every mistake is magnified. And it was our first and third quarters. I mean, we survived one 40-point quarter. You're not going to survive two in a game. We just weren't good enough tonight. It was an awful night all the way around. And, we move on and make sure that this, doesn't stick with us and we come out on Friday night and play a lot better game.
Hey, Stan, Christian Clark here. I know, Zach is having an incredible season, but in what ways do you think you guys could have better contained him tonight?
Well, you know what? I mean, again, it was everything. I mean, it was just, game plan could have been different. Schemes could have been different. We could have gotten into him more. We could have been harder on the closeouts. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, there's nobody to single out here. I'll take as big a part of the blame as anyone. Obviously, what we had as a game plan didn't work, and we didn't play. I'm not even going to say we didn't play hard enough. I don't think we did, but we were just a step slow to everything. Everything was late. We just weren't covering ground in rotations. We just didn't do a good enough job.
It's Stan Scott with Noel.com. I know in several of these losses, particularly during that long road trip, one quarter seemed to be the difference that swung you guys in a bad direction. Tonight, 40-14 in the third. Is that symptomatic of anything, or is that just it happened to happen over a single quarter?
Well, it actually happened over two quarters. It happened over the first quarter and the third quarter. So it was symptomatic again. I mean, to me, the game was simple to analyze. They played extremely well and with very good pace and ball movement. And we were a step late on everything. We just couldn't guard them at all tonight. We could not.
Hey, Coach, this is Shamit Dua from Bourbon Street Shots. You've talked a lot this season about the volatility of teams just hitting a lot of threes and needing to weather those type of runs. Is there, philosophically speaking, is there a way to kind of combat that volatility, to reduce it, to make sure it doesn't have that big of an impact game to game on both ends?
Yeah, I mean, there is. You can do different things defensively. I thought, we've been getting a little bit better, taking away threes. We haven't done, hugely better, but we've been better over these last 8 games on covering the 3-point line. We just could not tonight. And a lot of that was them, their ball movement, their passing. They were very, very sharp. They've got really good guards who were quick in making plays. And we didn't do a good job closing out and covering, and we have to go back to and look and see if I know there were things we probably should have adjusted to sooner and we didn't. So as a coaching staff, me in particular, you've got to take a big share of the blame on that.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
Well, that was Van Gundy breaking down his thoughts on the game, man. And my goodness, Pelicans really struggled in this one in the second half, and it showed to a great deal. And we went down in flames in the second half. Looking at the team statistics as we get ready to run that thing, let me share that with the family members. But the reality at the end of the day is, the Bulls were hot, but the Pelicans didn't have help the case defensively either. But 59%, anytime a team shoots almost 60% from the field, it's gonna be a tough game. The Pelicans did a fantastic job in support. They shot almost 51%, 41 of 81 from the field. Bulls were 48 of 81 for almost 60%, 59.3 to be precise. Pelicans were 13 of 36 from downtown in the matchup. The Bulls shot at least 12 more three-pointers than this team at 25 of 47 for 53%. A team hit 25 three-pointers on you is going to be tough to win contests. Pelicans were 13 of 36 for 36%. And from the charity shot stripe, 21 of 26 for almost 81%, which is a positive. Bulls only went to the line 11 times in the matchup, converted 8 of 11 in this thing. A 35-35 even with the rebounds in the matchup. You look at the assist situation, advantage Bulls 36-27. Pelicans had 11 steals in the matchup to just 4 by the Bulls. 6 blocks by the Bulls, 1 by the Pels. They held the turnovers down. Pelicans 12 turnovers, 17 by the Bulls. They got 15 points off of turnovers. Pelicans 21 off of theirs. Fast break points 15-7, advantage Bulls. Points in the paint, Pels 50-40 in the matchup. And like I said, Bulls went up by as much as 18. Pelicans had it by 8. And really, you can kind of pinpoint in this matchup where it really came unglued for the Pelicans. And you can pinpoint it right in the third quarter where they had a miserable 14-point score. And that was really bad as the Bulls lit them up for 40, which was the second highest total of the game when the Bulls put up 44 in the first and Pelicans trailed by 10 then. DC, from a team statistics, what do you eyes see?
Man, I mean, I seen a lot, but I think a lot of it had more to do with our defense. As I said last podcast yesterday, we found a way to be a dominant team using our defense to propel our offense. So obviously, when you come out in the first quarter, which is very uncharacteristic of the Pelicans, honestly, we kind of sometimes have lapses in the second and the third. We know that, and we either scrapping back in the fourth or trying not to give away a nice lead that we had in the fourth. But for us to come out and just lay an egg like that defensively in the first, is the thing that's really sticking out to me. And obviously, I mean, you got a team that hit 25 3-pointers, man, shoot 53% from the 3-point line. Like that's insane, dude. And then they did on 36. They got 36 assists while doing it too. That's crazy. But I mean, this all boils down to that 3-point line. And when guys were hitting, a lot of those shots were damn near uncontested, man. I mean, whatever we were trying to do to counter their offensive schemes, I saw us going under screens and stuff sometimes. I don't know what we were trying to do or if we just weren't there because we were tired, man. It could have been maybe a little bit of mental fatigue. I mean, obviously they had a game last night and they probably didn't get in till 3-4 in the morning. Flying in, getting home, and all that stuff. I mean, you don't play till 8 at night. You should be ready, but sometimes it's about rhythm, man, and something that throws your rhythm off can kind of have you off and the whole team. The most consistent, efficient person on the team, obviously, was Zion and Kiera, but other than those two, man, I seen all type of stuff, But we did fight. And we tried, man. We did. I saw the energy and effort of them trying, to hang in there and mount a comeback. But man, you can't give a team 25 3-pointers, bro, on 53%, and you only hit 13. You ain't got a chance.
That's true, and I commend the Pelicans shooting that high clip from the field, 3-point from downtown, 13 of 36. We're shooting a little bit too much for a team should have recognized that they were cold turkey at one point. Your threes are not falling to attack the cup. They were getting the free throw attempts. The referees gave them 26 attempts tonight versus 11 attempts by the Bulls, which they were to capitalize 21 free points there. They could have gotten a little bit more than that had they had pressed the issue. But be that as it may, the Bulls were just knocking those tough 3-point shots down. The Pelicans rebounds were tied with theirs as well, 35-35 in the matchup. A lot to be proud of, despite the fact that the Pelicans lost here by double digits. It's a lot to still be happy for, in this matchup, or kind of be, you could pick up. You don't have to completely burn the tape on this one. We did keep the turnovers down to just 12 while forcing 17 from them. And then to get 21 points off of those 12. In the fast break, we had to work on that. We did do well in the points in the paint battle, beating them by double digits, 50-40. So, I mean, there are some things that you can take away from this matchup as well. Let's go at the individual statistics, and we'll find out exactly what was going on in this game. And we'll get into the meat and potatoes individually speaking, because we warned, like I said earlier in the show, we warned the family members about Zach LaVine. We even showed the statistics and how well he was shooting over the last several contests. He was hot. It continues to be hot. And, of course, there are rumors about him being on the trade block as well. The Bulls might want to hold on to that guy, to be honest with you. But let's look at the individual statistics here in the matchup here for the Pels. As you could tell here, Williamson was the top dog in the matchup. 29 points by Zion Williamson. 29 points in 37 minutes of action. He was 12 of 18 from the field. Really efficient effort. Again, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He finished with 29 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in the matchup for him. He did have 3 personal fouls, but he's Zion. B.I. in this one, 21 points, even though he had 21 points. I wasn't really big on how B.I. played in this game. He has just steal and all, even though B.I. is a young all-star. He has to get better with his shot selection and understanding that just because you're making 158 right here, you can't always assume that you just got every shot that you take. Sometimes if you know your shot not falling from out there, you got to go closer. And sometimes you got to give up the ball for an easier shot. Don't force, you don't always have to take the tough shots. 21 points in 38 minutes, 6 of 19 for him, 2 of 9 from downtown. Just wasn't happening for him. 4 assists, 5 rebounds in the matchup as well. Lonzo added another consistent scorer to it. He matched whatever Ingram gave them tonight. 21 points for Lonzo in 34 minutes. He was 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 10 from downtown, and a perfect 5 for 5 from the charity stripe. Big ups to Lonzo. Another good game where he played well. 21 points in the matchup. Just 1 turnover. How about that? 7 assists and 5 rebounds. He also had a couple of steals in the matchup. Bledsoe in limited minutes. In 17 minutes, he was 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from downtown. 5 points, 3 assists, 2 boards in the matchup. Steven Adams, 22 minutes. He was 1 of 2 from the field. He finished with 3 points and 6 boards and a couple of steals from Steven Adams in 22 minutes of action. Pelicans off the bench. 14 from KLJ in 24 minutes of action. KLJ was an efficient 5 of 7, 2 of 3 from downtown. He did miss a couple of free throws. He was 2 of 4 from the line, but finished with 14 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a couple of rebounds. Love how KLJ played tonight. Just keep giving him the minutes. He's fast. He gets effortless points. It's like he's 3 times faster than the nearest guy, and he scores without them running plays for him. He got 14 tonight, really, really efficiently and effortlessly, in my opinion. Willie Hernan Gomez, 9 points, 3 boards on a 14-minute effort tonight. He was 5 of 4 from the field. He finished with 9 and 3 on the night. And, of course, Josh Hart with 27 minutes. He was 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown. He finished with 8 points and 6 boards for Josh Hart. J.J. Redick, 18 minutes. He was 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown. Finished with 6 points in the matchup. NAW in limited minutes, 9 minutes, 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from downtown. No points for NAW in the matchup. Pelicans go down 116 to 129 to the Bulls. You look at what they did, 30 points let's go to the big dog up top, Zach LaVine. 38 minutes of action. This guy gave him 46 points. He was the stirrer. He's the straw that stirs the drink for the Bulls. We called that. and he was the guy that was lighting the Pelicans up in this matchup. Look at that plus minus, plus 20, 46 points for him in this match on 38 minutes, 17 of 25 from the field, 9 of 14, 9 3-pointers from downtown, 3 of 3 from the charity stripe, 46 points in the matchup, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He had 5 turnovers, but no, don't worry about that when you spike down 9 damn 3-pointers. And of course, Kobe White, the young point guard there, he pretty much did the thing as well. Him and Zach LaVine were doing what they needed to do. He finished with 30 points in 34 minutes, 50% from the field, 10 of 20. He was 8 of 17 in his own right shooting. So between Kobe Wright and Zach LaVine, his team spiked down 17. I mean, listen, man. That's just amazing, man. Absolutely amazing, the 3-point made between those two guys. You're looking at 17 3-pointers between Kobe White and Zach LaVine in this matchup, and Kobe finished with 30 points, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds in the matchup. And, of course, everybody else had their little hustle stats, but really on the back of LaVine and White is where we went. And, of course, Garrett Temple off the bench in 36 minutes gave him 10 points. T. Young, 27 minutes, 8 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, as he did his hustle man thing circulating. But two players really – team effort by the Bulls, got to give it to them in this affair. They was pissed off. Pelicans on short minutes, hoping that the Pelicans had enough oomph to take them over there. Of course, we didn't. We injure and take a really tough loss right here. So with that being said, man, it's funny, man. Funny in a bad way that we ultimately end up going down the way we did in this matchup. So, DC, you heard the individual statistics that we were breaking down. What are your thought process on that as well?
Yes, I did. Well, first I gotta address something, bro. I heard you up here on the mic in front of all these people lying, man. Wasn't no goddamn team effort. This was a 2-man show, bro. We got beat by 2 people.
DC, it was a team.
We got beat by 2 people.
There
man.
was a team,
This
bro.
this was 2-on-5, man.
Bro, it was 5-on-5, and it had Kobe White and freaking Zach LaVine just all over the place, and we couldn't do nothing about it. It was like one of them weird techniques that you see in the sci-fi movies when the guy splits himself into different people, and then they all around you. That was like some weird Matrix moment there between Zach LaVine and what they were doing with him and Kobe White. And listen, man, the other guys just did their little hustle stuff like Thaddeus Young. Doing this little assist thing, his little rebounding thing, and all this kind of stuff. But them guys did what they usually would do, doing a little minimal stuff, rebounding, hitting a shot here or there. And while Zach LaVine and Kobe White put this thing in cruise control, man. 2 against 5 is true, but man, it felt like it was more like 6 against 5 on the court. They just couldn't help it, man. They could not stop Zach LaVine. And then when Kobe White got going, it was a done data, baby.
Yeah, it definitely was, bro. I mean, we didn't cover them enough, so I'm gonna talk about our guys. But before I move on to them, man, 46 points on 3 free throws. That is insane. Ugh. But we did it to him, man. We knew this guy could shoot. Let him come in here and do that. So enough of that, man. Enough of that. It's heartbreaking. You don't love to see it. Everybody talking about you love to see it. Not this. Wish I could have closed my eyes. But I had talked about the game with y'all, so talk about what I saw on our end. Actually, Zion had a pretty decent game, but I mean the stats are nice, man. But when you watch this game real time, at points in this game, it was a little bit of a struggle for Zion, man. It's a little bit of a tough night. Not his quintessential night. At what he's been doing as of late. When we were getting a lot of these wins, they were surrounding him with 3 people every time he got the ball, man, and really found a way to cut down on his kickouts. Forced him into a couple of turnovers, some almost turnovers. Even they was blocking his shot tonight too. Zion had a little tough for some reason, but tough night for Zion is 12 for 18, 29 points. Oh, and I only got 4 rebounds instead of my usual 7 or 8. And I only could get you 2 assists. instead of 4 or 5. That's a tough night for him. But he definitely showed up, did his thing, man. He gave us enough effort and enough for us to be able to win. But like you were saying, bro, Bi is it's weird, man, because he goes games. I'm like, man, he finally getting it. He's getting it. He's looking like Durant out there. He's being efficient. He's working that mid range, taking the shots when he's supposed to, and passing when he's not. And he just reverted back to that old Bi that kind of annoys us a little bit. That reminds me of Carmelo. He starts playing this ball like not Carmelo in his whole career, because I think Carmelo was a hell of a player. Well, still is, but obviously he's older now. But there was periods in his career where he played really selfish type, I'm gonna get my buckets basketball. And I mean, it's not really all the way selfish. You need players like that, but the thing is they got to know when to flip that switch and when to kind of let the team flow and the chemistry get going with the other guys. And Bi definitely forced way too many shots tonight. Didn't have it going. And the thing that really teed me off is he took 9 3-point attempts. Now there's games when Bi has it going, and I'm mad because he didn't shoot enough of them. But on a night where you cold as hell and you go out and take 9, like, man, what are you doing? But obviously,
bailing him out because he tired. That's a
I,
sign
I,
of
I don't think
fatigue.
it was just that. Because I've seen this with our team, bro. Bi does this. Alonzo does it. Josh Hart does it. Well, JJ Redick, he's just gonna shoot threes. That's what he do. But we got those guys on our team, bro. Eric Bledsoe too. When we get down and we don't have it going, and then the other team starts to hit 3-pointers, we start shooting threes like if we make one 3-pointer, we gonna make up the whole lead or something. They do this. They do this a lot, Q. It's in this winning streak we've been having, and maybe these last 8 games they kind of slowed up from that. But we would allow the way other teams were shooting to dictate our shot selection. And when we start to do that, you start seeing like a lot of what the commentators be talking about ISO ball. What I be seeing is I see them, they see these guys hitting shots and they feel the pressure and they try to turn it up. All right, let me run down. Maybe if I get a quick 3, like they can hurry up and turn it around, but it never works. It never works. And one of your leaders is, the main person that kind of kicks that off. Bi, a lot of times when stuff like this happens, where the Bulls, how they were shooting the night from the line, Bi will just randomly at some point decide to run down and pull up and hit a contested 3. Sometimes he make them, sometimes he don't. But he has these periods where he just like, I'm gonna just shoot it. And then you see Josh Hart do it, and then Lonzo Ball might do it, and everybody be out there clinking. Eric Bledsoe will do it. But yeah, poor shot selection from Bi, man. I didn't see this defensive effort from any of our guys. Lonzo Ball even kind of let me down a little bit tonight. I mean, he had that one good quarter where he kind of slows Zach down a little bit after the first quarter. And I mean, as you can see, I can't give no black backcourt players credit when you got 2 guys in the backcourt then combined for what, almost 80 points. I mean, that's insane. But Lonzo did play very well. I was very impressed with him in the first quarter, man. I mean, the dude had maybe like 19 points at halftime. That's special for Lonzo, man. And I said it yesterday. I was hoping he had an epic game, and I think he was on his way to doing that. But the rest of the team kind of didn't follow him, and he ain't a guy that's gonna go out and just be trying to get points like that. He's not really a scorer, so the whole team ain't going. His points gonna go down. That's just how it goes. And Eric Bledsoe just disappeared. Eric Bledsoe and Steven Adams, man. Willie Herman Gomez is starting to steal a lot of Steven Adams minutes, man. I don't know if maybe Steven Adams is a little banged up too on top of this, or if he's just tired from all of these games. But he was kind of, I wouldn't say a non-factor. Definitely had his little moments in the game, but he didn't really leave his imprint on it. And Eric Bledsoe, I mean, I see why he got 17 minutes. Like when he was out there, he wasn't doing nothing. I just remember him hitting 1 3-pointer. Damn sure ain't contesting no shots on the 3-point line. Uh, it's just a full out. You could tell it was a back to back for our starters. But I did like what I saw from Kiera. Josh Hart played with heart as usual. Willie Herman Gomez is another guy off the bench that's really starting to shine. And I like the fact that Stan Van Gundy actually found a way to work in 5 guys in this rotation. And it sucks that we lost because I did like some of the lineups I saw. Like I saw Kiera out there with the starters. They even had a lineup with Zion out there at center, and we had Kiera, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. So there's a lot of things I saw that were positives, like the play from Kiera, man. Them 14 points was so easy for him, Q. Like he didn't work hard to get that 14 at all. And then I look at Lonzo's 21. Not to say he had a bad game, but it's just like I felt like Lonzo had to do a lot more to get to 21. And I think if Kiera would have kept shooting, he could have got the 21. It'd have been so easy, just like an easy 21. A couple of more threes, maybe one more trip to the line. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. So that's a positive. Got 24 minutes. I'm gonna hold my hat on that, and I'm gonna be happy with that, Q. This is the emergence of KLJ, as you like to call him, and I'm gonna be happy with that, man. And that's my moral victory. I'm gonna take. I know I ain't supposed to take it, because this Alvin Gentry was the moral victory guy.
I'm about to try to tell you.
I'm gonna go ahead and take that, man, because I was happy to see him work in, and I think he showed up enough so to where he'll continuously be getting minutes for the rest of the season, especially after what he did today.
Yeah, and I've known to be. I've said that before, and I continue to say it, is that even when we lose these matchups, we find more and more verification of who these guys are, as far as our bench gems, as I call them. KLJ is a guy that is continued to show you that he deserves more minutes. You see Willie Hernan Gomez continues to show that he needs more minutes. When you was talking, I checked the injury report to see if it was anything on Steven Adams. I didn't see anything on Steven Adams. I think there's just them just giving him
just
rest.
like one of them little nagging joints, man. Like some stuff you ain't gonna report. Like you see Lonzo over
Could
there
be because it
with the
most
big
certainly.
old knee pads on and stuff. They're not reporting none of that,
Well, it could very well be because Steven Adams only knows one way to play, and that's full 100%. Give you all out effort. He just wasn't there. His energy and focus wasn't there in the night in the consistent manner where it really had a serious impact on the game like you would
He
want it
he
to be.
he slowed LaVine down, man. When we decided that we were gonna stop defending LaVine the way we started putting Steven Adams on him and kind of having, a quicker guy kind of meet him if he tried to penetrate. And when they started doing that, that definitely slowed him down for a while, man. And then, he got
They
cooking
adjusted.
again later on after he sat for about 30
Mm-hmm.
minutes.
Right. That's what I said.
Then
And
he got cooking again.
but by
It
that,
is-
but Levine got hot, man, and that was a done data, man. He was red hot, man. He's on a red hot streak, and Kobe White fed off of that, man, and they lit the Pelicans up in this one. And like you said, need a little bit more high IQ shot selection from the young Pels, but still in all, despite the fact it's a double-digit loss, it's still a lot to be happy for as the Pelicans fall now to what is it? What is it now? 11-13, which is third in the Southwest now. They were number 2 yesterday, and then of course the
We
loss
get
drops
a
them
chance to
down.
play Dallas tomorrow, man.
Yep.
I expected us maybe to lose one of
Well,
these games in these next 4. So if we can
that'll be on the
beat
12th.
Dallas
That'll be
and then beat
Friday.
right, yeah, not tomorrow. I'm sorry, they ain't got no triple headers.
Yeah,
I meant Friday.
they got a couple of days of rest as they will board the plane, and then they'll head out to Dallas. And then, of course, they'll finish up the 3-game. There was a 4-game stand that's a road trip that started off with Chicago tonight. Then, of course, they have Dallas on Friday. Sunday, they'll get Detroit and then, of course, then Tuesday, that next Tuesday, they'll finish out against Memphis, then head back home for
On Mardi Gras.
It'll head back home, right? And then, of course, Portland, Phoenix, Boston, and Detroit will be waiting for the Pelicans
No,
in
no,
a
no, don't
four
do that,
game.
Q. That's too depressing right now. Let's just talk about the four.
All right, then.
Let's
Okay.
just talk about the four right now. We got to build momentum before we could talk about the other teams again.
All right. Well,
But
we'll do
we,
that.
we, we got we got Detroit, we got Memphis, we got Dallas. Okay, out of those four, I'm gonna be honest. I thought we would probably go 3-1. I figured we would lose to somebody. So I mean, there's still a chance for us to pull off the upset against Dallas and go ahead and handle our business against two teams that we should beat in Detroit and Memphis. So if we could come out of this road trip at 3-1, and then go into all that gladiator warrior talk you was just having about the other teams, then we'll still be in a good place, man. And Dallas is not looking their best right now. I mean, they have some peaks, and I believe we can take them, bro. I mean, if you watch this team, the Pelicans, we have a track record now of we kind of lose games that you expect us to win, and then we win in games that where you expected us to lose. So they lost tonight, and hopefully, if I think I'm correct, this loss will piss them off because they seem like they get mad when they lose in ways like this, or they probably get hurt a little bit, and they show up there next time. So hopefully we see that against Dallas, but don't talk about them other teams until like we can't talk about that till like Sunday, bro.
They got, and the interesting thing about this whole matrix is, of course, the Dallas Mavericks, man, they're looking better in this little stand here. And of course, the Mavericks were able to win a game tonight. They beat the Atlanta Hawks 118 to
Oh, that
117
they
in a
ain't
close game.
nobody. They
The
ain't
Hawks,
nobody.
well, listen, the Hawks, Trey Young has been playing really well up here. It was a pretty exciting game. I was
He don't
looking at
play
some of the
defense.
highlights.
He don't
So I
play
mean,
defense.
well, I mean that's the Pelicans didn't play defense tonight. So so who are we doing here? But anyway, let's get into the breakdown on this. You see, Luka Doncic is their best player, no doubt about it. Man, averaging 28 points per contest.
God damn.
And it's amazing that at one point DC did not know who this man was, but he knows who he is
Man, I
now.
didn't know who the man was when he was in the draft, Q. I didn't.
Okay,
I
Golden
didn't
State.
know who he was. It ain't like he played college basketball, bro.
How I knew who he was, DC.
I ain't got cable in Israel, wherever the hell he was playing at, Nova Scotia, whatever the hell Luka Doncic come from.
Well,
I don't know. I didn't know
it's
nothing about that man.
interesting. It's
I heard his
interesting.
name before, but I didn't know he was that good. I even knew his nickname. I heard he was talking about Boy Wonder and all this. Like I don't know.
Wonder Boy, bro. It's not Boy
I
Wonder.
don't
It's
know.
Wonder Boy. Two different things.
What I told you about Trey Young, I told you Trey Young was gonna be good.
That was
I
easy.
knew that.
All right, now let's get into it. Now, if you look at what Dallas did, Dallas is currently on a 3-game winning streak. They started it off by beating the Golden State Warriors 134 to 132. Then they beat Minnesota 127 to 122. And then, of course, tonight's matchup, they got a really tight one with Atlanta 118 to 117. It means that Dallas is playing pretty confident right now on a 3-game stand. Of course, Pelicans going into Dallas, always a tough place for the Pels to play. And we got to take care of business against this team. They're 12-4, 5-7 at home as it stands. This will be a Friday afternoon matchup at 6:30 Central Time. Ingram, as you can see the statistics there, is the top scorer for the Pelicans. Adams is the top rebounder. You look at Luka Doncic averaging 28 points on 46% shooting from the field. He also is the top assister of the team. This guy leads the team in scoring. He leads them in rebounding and also in assists, averaging he averages just over 9 assists per game in 35 minutes of action. And it's just
That's some bullshit, Q. That can't be correct, though. How you leading everything?
when you
Boy wonder, man.
when you the wonder boy, that's
Oh,
what
Lord.
things that's what it is. But anyway, let's look at the team statistics there. Right now, Mavericks averaging just over 111 points per game while giving up 113.6, shooting 46% from the field as a team, 43 rebounds, 23 assists, 4.6 on the block, 7 steals per game. And like I said, they're on that 3-game winning streak, 4-6 the last 10. Pelicans 112 per game, giving up almost 112 per game. As you can see, that number is dropped underneath as the Pelicans get close to get to that 500 mark. 47% from the field for the Pelicans, very admirable. 47 rebounds per contest, 24.3 on assists, they 4.2 blocks, 7.3 on the steals. Coming up as the Bulls knocked us off our 4-game winning streak. We're 6-4 the last few contests, and as you can look at the statistics here, the standings for the Southwest, you see that the Spurs lost. They're now 14-11. The only team that's plus 500. Memphis also won tonight. They are now 10-10. Pelicans lose, slide underneath to the 4th position. Dallas won again, like I said, 12-4. Pelicans are now 11-13. We get a couple days off. We have to travel to Dallas. And, of course, you see Houston in the cellar at where they're going to stay, I believe, the rest of the season. They're on the 3-game slide themselves. Pelicans get a couple days of rest, man, against this team. And let's look at the depth chart on Dallas. As you can see right here, this is what it looked like. Luka Doncic at the point guard position. Josh Richardson, the former Miami Heat, fantastic shooting guard. And, of course, you see guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Max Kleiber, and Kristaps Porzingis. You know, the unicorn is right there with him as well. And then, of course, off the bench, guys like Trey Burke, who's a beast, Jalen Brunson, who I like a lot. You got Tim Hardaway Jr., who's also there, James Johnson, Willie Cauley-Stein, who is doing a pretty decent job, even though Dwight Powell also helps out as well. So, as you can see, their lineup right there. And, of course, the coach of the team is Rick Carlisle, who's a former NBA championship coach. So with that being said, the Dallas Mavericks are always a difficult win. Going into Dallas is always difficult for the Pels. And Zion, after some rest, should be able to feast against the guys like Max Kleiber. And we'll see what they do. But I expect them to throw Kleiber at him, James Johnson, Dwight Powell, all those guys. But Kleiber can knock the three-pointer down, too. He can knock the three down. And Dwight Powell can knock the three down. So you have a couple of stretch bigs that can actually do some stuff. So we'll see how it matches up. Dorian Finney-Smith, and watch out for Tim Hardaway Jr.
Don't forget about James Johnson either, man. We got a lot of guys, bro.
I warned you about Harrison Barnes, the Pelican killer. He was killing the Pelicans when he was in the Mavericks. Watch out for Tim Hardaway Jr., who's another guy that gets hot and could light you up. So this is a dangerous team. The Mavericks can shoot the 3 ball as well. So, DC, what do we need to do, in your opinion, to get this win in Dallas?
Get our second unit corrected and make sure we have the right rotation on the second unit. I'm saying this shit now. Make sure the second unit is correct, because Dallas is full of guys, man, and their second unit ain't no joke. Tim Hardaway is averaging like 20 points off the bench. So they're going to come out there. They're going to give you what they give you with their starters. And then they're going to come out there and look to get busy with their second unit either. They don't take time off. So this is going to require a full game, man. We got to bring it every quarter. We can't have these good quarters and then have a down quarter. And you can't do that type of stuff against Dallas, man. It just ain't gonna happen. So obviously Luka's gonna do what Luka does. I haven't seen a formula to be able to stop that. The most I've seen is, you cut off his drives and kind of minimize his trips to the line, but you give him some of them shots. Sometimes Luka can go cold. So obviously you gotta kind of look towards that. But Porzingis is another guy that can kill you from that 3-point line, and this is one of those teams. It was Dallas, and I remember Minnesota last year with Naz Reid. This was the other team. The only 2 teams I seen was Zion played that actually gave him problems. Where
they got a bunch of people they can throw at him. That's for certain.
Right, they were kind of able to minimize what he does, and I think by regular standards, he's had an okay game. Zion probably had 18 or 20 points or whatever, and it was against them. And I think also Milwaukee too. Giannis and Brook Lopez gave him some problems too. But Dallas was one of those other teams, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. How they decide to play defense against Zion, and if he can overcome that. Obviously, I think he's more polished right now. He's got more experience. He's passing better. She always was a good passer, but he seems to be more aware. So maybe he can exploit whatever they try to do if they try to do the same thing last time. I think it was Dwight Powell and might have been Maxi Kleber. That they was teaming up on him.
Maximilian,
They might
yeah.
even threw Boban out there at Zion last time too. Big 7'8" guy they got. And Kristaps Porzingis ain't nothing to sneeze at either, but he ain't got no lateral quickness coming off an injury. But man, that guy can shoot. He can shoot, especially for a center. So the main thing, though, to me, is this second unit, man. You're looking at Trey Burke. Trey Burke is not no joke. They called him Baby AI for a while. He's a guy that can come out on that second unit and light it up. And he got his fellow alum, and like you said, and Tim Hardaway Jr., man, who can light it up too. Them both Michigan guys, they got a good chemistry together. James Johnson, a guy came all the way
Dirty work.
from Memphis, dirty work. He can hit them threes.
Yep.
Willie Kelly Stein, y'all saw him last year with the Warriors. Another guy does dirty work, get the rebounds, trash point, clean up around the bucket. Jalen Brunson, I don't know a lot about him. But Dorian Finley-Smith, obviously, is another guy we need to learn because I don't remember him starting last time we played them. But he didn't pass up Tim Hardaway Jr. in the starting lineup, or maybe they switched it like that so they could have their bench kind of generate some points. I'm guessing they weren't playing well.
They do that. They stagger it, put Dorian Finney-Smith in that because of his defense. But then Tim Hardaway comes off the bench but end up playing starter minutes. So he averages 31 a contest, and that's only second to the Wonder Boy himself, Doncic, who averages 35 per contest. So it'll be interesting to see. But you are right. When you talk about the matchups that they have, they're a long team that can shoot the three-pointer that got hustle in them. And it's really they're a dangerous matchup for the Pelicans, to say it lightly, because Doncic is averaging 28. He has the ability. He rebounds. He can assist, move the ball around. And then you look at the unicorn, who averaging 20 points per contest. He getting his in there. Tim Hardaway is going to get his in there. And, of course, Josh Richardson's another guy that's dangerous, who has an overall game. Brunson is interesting, too, because he provides that real point guard, as Trey Burke is more like a scoring guard. He's not much of I won't say he's like a facilitating type guy. He's a he's a scoring point guard type of dude. And Jalen Brunson is an overall kind of guy that can assist and do things like that.
Jalen Brunson had 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists this last game they played tonight.
Right.
So
right.
He's definitely somebody you got to watch out for.
Right. He fits.
Like I said, I don't know a lot about him, but he looks like he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I've been following him. Been following him since college, man. He averaging 11 on the season, but he was damn good in college. So, but you're right. If you look at not just for Zion, they got interesting several different bigs that they can throw at a guy like Zion to frustrate him. But they also got players that are long enough that they can throw at a BI as well. Now, Tim Hardaway is not much of a defensive guy, but he'll make you burn energy defending him on the offensive side. Josh Richardson is another guy they can mix. Dorian Finney-Smith is strictly a defensive guy, although you can catch him every now and again knocking down a three-pointer shot as well. He's a hustle player. Max Kleber is a guy. He's a big, not very fast, but he's a guy that can stretch the floor for you. James Johnson is like a poor man's, I don't know if you could call him a poor man's Morrison boy. The Morrison twins,
he like the Morrison twins.
Right,
that's exactly
his game.
The same game.
And that's
the same game like them.
Same game, hustle man, dirty man. And then of course Dwight Powell's the same way. Dwight Powell is a guy that has length and can hit that 3-pointer and stretch things out for you as well. He can play 4 and 5. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how this goes. So we'll see, man, how it shapes.
Everybody in that lineup, Q, from the starters to their bench, can shoot threes.
They're a tough matchup, man.
The Pelicans need to be practicing a 3-point defense. We cannot have another night where a team come out and hit 25 threes on our ass.
Right.
And think we gonna succeed. So this will be a good test to see if we learned from what just happened to us tonight. Because Dallas is gonna come out there, man, and if you giving them a slither of space on that line, they gonna shoot it. They will shoot it because everybody from top to bottom that you're gonna be out there can shoot threes or at least will shoot them to keep you honest because they got a lot of bigs that hit threes. That's their whole thing, So this is gonna be an interesting one to see. And again, this is the team that I don't think anybody has us beaten, honestly, especially with how desperate they seem right now by having just as bad of a start as we did. But I believe the Pels pull this one out, man. Even going against all these odds, they seem to be a deeper team than us. But overall, I think we're the more talented team, and I think all of that will show, and we'll live up to our potential against Dallas after obviously being pissed off about giving this one away tonight. And we'll come in there and perform, man. 3-point defense and playing good team ball with the second unit is what it's going to come down to.
I think so too. Get a couple of nights off here, rest up. Stan Van's gonna bitch and complain about it. The Pelicans gonna come back refocused. That's what they do, tooled up. It's gonna be a fight in Dallas, man. Like Dallas is. We talk about the players. It'll be an interesting Friday night matchup, man. And notice we've been getting some really good Friday night games, man. Setting the weekend off the right way with the Pelicans, man. This the third one, some really good basketball, and of course this one's going to be on ESPN for the nation to see. So it'd be good to see them battle up against Wonder Boy, Zion Williamson, Bi, and these guys. Lonzo take it into Dallas and be able to get this win over this team. Let's keep this going because, of course, we still need a couple of more to get to 500. One game at a time. Pelicans, listen, 4 straight. They're 4-1-4, 4-1. The last 5 games, which is pretty damn good. Pelicans can still tool up, get this win, and let's just keep this thing going. One game at a time. We right there. We right there. And it's like right there, bro. We are right there. And like you said, and we've been saying this, one more guy off that bench, DC. One more guy. Of course, NAW didn't give us nothing tonight.
I think we just found him tonight, Q. Kyra, I believe is that guy. And if they continue to give him the minutes they gave him tonight, every time, the more he plays, it's like the better he gets. So he may be that guy, man, but he's still kind of coming into his own. And you can see in key moments during the game, he's not gonna obviously take over or anything. He's still trying to find his place. But I think Kyra can be that guy if we can find a way to work him in and kind of get steady production out of NAW too, like you were mentioning. At some points during the game, I like to see NAW as opposed to Josh Hart because I just think what he can give you offensively when you get him going is way more dangerous.
I would say what you're saying. I would agree with what you're saying, but I would like to see less of JJ Redick, to be honest with you, because Josh Hart is out there rebounding, playing defense. 20 points the other night, 17 rebounds. He got that heart movement. NAW really didn't give us nothing tonight, but obviously JJ Redick didn't really help out either in this matchup. So I mean, he
gave him 6 points and he forced a few
for $13 million dude giving you 6
How
points.
many minutes?
Well, I mean, that's my point. I mean, you got a $13 million 3-point shooter like Redick there, and you're giving them smallish ass minutes. Why giving them smallish ass minutes at all? Give him opportunity to help out, or give his minutes to another guy like NAW. I mean, so
because we cheap Q. We paying them, so we figure we got to play them, bro. Because at this point, that's the only thing that makes sense. Obviously, they wanted to trade him, but they didn't. So it's like, why is he still getting minutes? Y'all didn't even want him to be here. But they maybe they didn't have a trade lined up that they wanted. It might be a trade where you're basically giving them away, and they just trying to meddle around until the deadline, until they execute it. And they obviously want to play him to maybe build his trade value, is what I'm thinking. while also trying to stay winning. You know, it's we got all this stuff going on. What we're trying to do with the front
Set
office
your
and
five, bro.
just setting up our team.
Bro, just set your five, your second five,
Everybody
bro.
who play around Zion, everybody plays around Zion and Ingram gotta be knocked down 3-point shooters, man. So they they will set their five, but I think that's the main thing that they're looking for with everybody else, other than like a guy like Steven Adams, you know.
Interesting. So we'll see how it shakes, man. Remember, next Pelican matchup is Friday afternoon, 6 o'clock Central Time. Pelicans at the Mavs is going down. Of course, the Pelican post-game report will be in full effect. So the Pelicans, they get beat by the Bulls. Bulls run over the Pelicans 129-116. Snap Pelicans 4-game winning streak on this one, but it's okay, fam. We're only 2 games underneath 500. We're going into Dallas on Friday to take care of business, and then Sunday we're going to take care of some more business, but 1 game at a time. So I thank all you guys for dropping by on today's Pelican Postgame Report. Appreciate you staying up late with us as well. So we're on this Hump Day edition. I appreciate y'all, and as always, when somebody try to disrespect your Pelicans, you tell them with a New York accent to get the flock out of here and go flock yourself. And just like one of the family members got out of here. I don't know what GM Kev got somebody out of here. And one of the family members said, pluck you. So y'all are doing it right. So big ups to the rest of the flock in the building. Much love to y'all. DC, good job, my friend. I'll see you Friday on the Pelican post-game report recap of a victorious Pelicans over the Dallas Mavericks. So with that being said, we appreciate y'all for chiming in. Please hit upon the like button. If you aren't a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace, and go Pels.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Who that family? Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and who that too.